What is your advice for that? What would you tell
For
someone
getting out of
who
your
also
head?
feels the same way? No, who's just like, I can't not see this as a performance in a way. Like, how can I make this for me specifically?
Do the thing and never show anybody. So if you're feeling like I'm not being authentic in the documentation of whatever it might be, you could A, try a different medium, and B, like do it for nobody else but yourself in theory and also in practice. Like show no one.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, welcome back to Something More Human, the show where we talk about human connection in the digital age. I'm Sam.
Elliot, what's up, guys? It's
2026.
officially 2026. And we still have a freaking Christmas tree.
Look,
We were
guys,
supposed to take it down today.
If we're going to be honest, in years past, we've left it up until like February.
That's true. We were actually going to take it down today. We did do some shopping, though, and we got sidetracked. I think it looks nice.
The lights are vibes.
We don't have anything to. We're actually not sure what we're going to do with the space once the tree is gone, because what we had before,
We've repurposed.
were just a couple plants in a lamp, and those have been repurposed and put in different positions and locations. So the world is our oyster. I'm thinking of
Our what?
The world is our oyster.
Yeah. Elliot's family says oyster.
Oyster.
Oyster, yeah.
Yeah.
It's 2026.
It is 2026.
2026 is the fourth consecutive year that Elliot and I have done our joint reflection and forecast, which is really fun. We don't have a lot of like structured things that we do in this way.
We don't.
I don't think so. This is the thing that like we've done this. This is the fourth year that we've done it.
Maybe our lives would be better if we had more of these.
Well, and one of our goals for 2026 is to document our life more. And I think that some of these structured moments, it comes down to that.
Yeah.
We don't usually do resolutions in a new year. We set some goals, we reflect back, we forecast forward. So I was thinking that we would share with you all what we do and what our goals are for 2026, because of course, they're centered around human connection.
If there could be any case made for why you should journal and take more pictures, even if it's just your iPhone, and even record what you spend.
Oh, sure.
The case was made by you to me years ago about getting a Google Calendar.
If you know, you know.
So that you can organize your life and not bail on people and be like, "Oh, I just forgot." Well, if you have a calendar, it's law, so you can't have that excuse. Anyway, now after reflecting on this year, what I'm seeing is that the case being made for getting a Google Calendar and for journaling and for picture taking and video making is for proof of life, is to document your life. Especially if you're someone like me who at the end of the year, which is what I did on the 31st. It's funny because I was just thinking of like posting some photos that I hadn't shared on the internet, and then I realized I actually didn't really take that many photos this year, and the ones that I did take I sort of already shared. And then I started getting down on myself, and I was like, I didn't really shoot a lot of film, and so I didn't end up posting anything, which it shouldn't matter at all anyway. The point is that I started getting hard on myself and thinking about the year, and did I do the things that I said I wanted to do? I didn't even look back to see what my resolutions for 2025 were, if that's what you want to call them. But for some reason, the words that popped into my head when I was thinking about that, I was like, I was just like stuck in like a cycle of like complaining and thinking I didn't do all the things that I wanted to do or said that I would do. I feel like the same person in a lot of ways, which I think is okay. So the words that came into my head were, what are the facts? Because I know I'm always tripping myself up. So I was able, because we are extensively documenting, we have been this year, because I have listened to my wife and I said that interesting, to my wife.
To my wife.
My wife. Because I've listened to you and got a Google Calendar, there are so many places where we've said this is what we did today. And because we've done all those things, because we have documented more, because I have spent a lot of time journaling this year and putting things in the Google Calendar and taking pictures, you and I went back through all of those over the course of a year. And I was able to find out that actually I did do a lot. We did do a lot. Mm-hmm. And so while I might feel a certain way, if someone were to look at all of those things that we did, they would probably say, you lived a pretty nice life. And yeah. I have to sort of make peace with that and understand that maybe my ego or something else, the negative voice inside me, is always trying to tell me that I didn't do enough. Mm-hmm. And that's not the case for this past year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I think about 2026, I think that we are looking ahead to a year and thinking about the life that we're crafting versus something like a New Year's resolution, which oftentimes is tied to like health, like fitness, money, like all of those things are great and can be true. But when I think about the course of a year, some of the goals that we set aren't really milestones. They're like, I want to do more of this thing.
Yeah.
And so the first thing that we want to do more of in 2026 is document our life more. And the way that we started off the year, which is the fourth consecutive year we've done this, is we go back through both of our phone libraries of photos and we go back through the entire Google Calendar of the year and we break it down into what did we did, we break it down into what did we do, where did we go. I usually bold any kind of milestones that happened over the course of a year.
You had many.
And then you can just look at it written in front of you and remember, okay, wow, 12 months was really, really full. And that might change your perspective of the way that you've lived your life in the last 12 months. And so how you might want to live it in the next 12, which is kind of where I'm getting at this idea of doing more. So we're actually not like adding necessarily a lot of new things in 2026, but we want to go deeper on the awesome things that already exist in our life.
Yeah.
One of them is also dinner parties. We always say that we want to host more. I think this is the second year we've been like, we want to host more. But officially, we're saying it out loud, we want to host more dinner parties.
How many times do you think we hosted independently? Which I don't think I hosted at all independently. You did. And together, how many times did you say? Probably less than 10 or right around 10.
I don't think so. I think you and I together probably hosted
Twice?
Yeah, no,
times?
maybe 4 times. We probably had people over for dinner maybe 4 or 5 times. But I kicked off Girls Night Pizza Party,
Right.
which I've mentioned on the show before. I have this craving to do something regular, but I have this hesitancy to commit to being the host of something on a weekly basis. Because that just sounds like a lot of work in a way that doesn't fill me up. But I do want to bring people together on a regular cadence. So I was like, okay, once a month. I probably did that 10 times, I think. No, well, once a month, that would be more than half the year. I probably did it 6 times. So that brings us to like 10-ish.
I think we have great influences in our life because 10, by many people's standards, 10 is a lot.
That's almost once a month.
That's, and I don't know if you get caught up in the same feeling or maybe I rub off on you, but it's like, we didn't do enough. And it's like, well, we did a lot though. Anyway, I'm wondering if being at the company and their commitment to consistency and frequency, we're like, oh, well, that's a lot. And that is a lot. Like we should be doing those numbers. And it's like, well, that would be great. And I think that that's why the company is as strong and tight and fun as it is because they're doing things all the time. Anyway, I think 10 is quite a bit. And to do 20 in a year, to do 30, I mean, a lot of us are older, man. A lot of our friends are older and some of our friends have kids, and doing anything once a month or twice a month that's a recipe for having at least a decent to strong friendship and connection,
I totally agree. And when we really think about it, like 30 doesn't sound that much in the course of a year, but if there's 52 weeks in a year, 3/5 of the year you have someone of those weeks, like that's a good chunk. That's more than half,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I think putting a number to the ways that we want to gather and thinking about them in terms of frequency and regularity, like you're saying, how do we become the thing that is regular instead of like, oh, we'll play the schedule Tetris and figure it out. Could we just say, I go to book club the 4th Thursday of every month?
I don't think that it was a coincidence that one of the regulars at work, I think I already mentioned this on the last episode, was talking to me about a book called A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. And he's like, hey man, if it sounds interesting and you'll read it, like I'll send it to you. Dude got my address. I got it like the next day in the mail. 2 days later.
That's so awesome.
And I've been reading it. And one of the things that I took notes on, underlined, and wrote for this, and it's just interesting that I'm reading this as the year is coming to an end. And I was reading this and I was like, wow, that sounds just like me. It says the unchecked striving for more, the endless growth, is a dysfunction and a disease. It is the same dysfunction that cancerous cell manifests, whose only goal is to multiply itself, unaware that it is bringing about its own destruction by destroying the organism of which it is a part. It's basically talking about the ego. It sounds darker than it is. It's like talking about the ego has a striving for more. And in fact, that's totally me. So I'm coming back to, it's a saving grace that we have documented our lives this year, because I can't imagine if I didn't, my memory is already not that good. The feelings that I have about the year would be reinforced because I would have nothing to combat it. I would have no facts. I would just have my memory or lack thereof. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I look back, I'm like, how can I learn to be content next year with the things that we do, instead of setting these like numbers, like we're talking about having people over 30 times or doing more podcasts per year. Like, how can I be content with what I have? And is it possible for me to even do that?
Do you sometimes think that it can feel that way because one of the ways, well, two of the primary ways that you document your life is photo and writing.
Mm-hmm.
And you do that in a quantity that is so large that the idea of going back to it to review it is overwhelming. Like, if you wanted to go back to the facts and you only had your writing,
Yeah.
would that feel so overwhelming? And is that why shifting towards things that are more analog, like even writing by hand, you're just simply going to write less because your hand stamina to hold and write is not as strong as your finger typing stamina. Or if you shoot on film versus on your iPhone, it's more expensive. You have less exposures. You're just going to be more intentional and strategic with what you do. And so perhaps one of the things that we're also putting our attention to in 2026 is analog documentation.
Yeah, I mean, it's you just bought a film camera, a point and shoot film camera for like $5 at wherever you bought it at
Savers.
At Savers.
Okay, guys.
We think it works.
I don't know. We don't know yet if it works because I need to get a new battery for it. But hear me out. Elliot's the photographer. So like all of the gear that we have, with the exception of my own iPhone, like it's really Elliot's stuff. And I don't want to ever mess up your stuff. But I've been craving like a kind of like shitty camera that I just throw in my purse that I like take along with me that is not my phone. So I just went, when we were out of town for Christmas, I just went to Savers, which is like Goodwill or ARC, found a film camera, which I don't necessarily want a film camera, but I'm really excited about it. I still want like a little pocket cam.
Like the Ricoh.
Like that camera that I showed you earlier today. That's like super tiny.
That you would.
I don't need the photos to be good. I just want to be like capturing the feeling of things.
Yeah.
And a little bit antithetical to what I was just saying about shifting to analog.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to vlog more in 2026 and just like have moments on film, because the reason that I asked you about kind of this excess of documentation is, for me, if I didn't sit down with you with an intention and a structure to go through my photos for the year, I would never do it, because the idea of going back through my photos is just seems like a chore and is so overwhelming.
So why take them at all?
Because in theory, like I want to remember it, I want to capture it, I want to have the option to go back to it. Mm-hmm. But if I instead had a 5-minute vlog of our trip to Germany where I got a tattoo and we got to visit Christmas markets, I would watch that shit so fast. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. If I could just work on not caring what people think more this year, then maybe we can
vlog more.
It's just, I don't know what it is about. Maybe people do just vlog and then that's the point, I guess. If you vlog and you never look at it, what's the point of vlogging? Right? Like, I feel like that's exactly what it's for, unless you're really just trying to make money on, as you know, doing your own blog. I feel like it's so hard for me to look back at that. I don't know what it is.
Well, you don't.
I can't look back at it as like not content, but just a life lived and a memory of a life lived.
Like a video diary.
Yeah, it's impossible for me to do that. I don't know why. It's just like,
oh,
why is it why should I be embarrassed about my own life?
You feel cringe. Well,
yeah.
I wonder if we vlogged and the way that you spoke to the camera was like you're speaking to your future self instead of
speaking to an audience.
You're speaking to like our podcast audience.
That's a good perspective. How would that look? For example, at the market when we got the pasta where they were taking the cheese out of the freaking cheese bowl and then we ate right there and it was great. Yeah. What would that?
I think that you did a great job with that. You're like, here are the flavors. Future me, insert that hilarious TikTok of that little girl that's like a little hint of tomato, a little hint of soy sauce.
Yeah.
A little hint of spiciness, like a little hint of soy sauce. a little hint of the tomato.
Like you were doing that, which is
Yeah.
something that your future self would
Sure.
care about your past self experience in that moment.
Yeah, I think my perception is just that everything is a performance, which
Yeah.
which is silly. That's a very flawed view.
Right. And I also think that whatever method that you're documenting your life, like do it for you and for your future self, because it could, sure, like vlogging could turn into a thing that you make money from, or like podcasting can turn into a business that you make money from.
Right.
But if we didn't start this for our own selfish reasons, then we probably wouldn't stick to it. And so I feel the same way about vlogging. Like if we just make it for us and it's fun and it's carefree and it doesn't have a very particular end goal attached,
Sure.
like let's do more being bad or shitty or cringy at something and still just being in enjoyment of it.
Do you make the podcast for yourself?
I mean, I think that you and I sitting down on a regular basis with headphones and microphones to talk to each other is super beneficial to our marriage. And I love talking to you.
Yeah,
We wouldn't do this otherwise. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have my own selfish benefits.
Yeah, sure.
And who doesn't love to hear themselves talk?
It quite literally just feels like, to me, it's impossible for me to escape this, like how this feels. Like, I might be bursting your bubble here. I don't ever view this, like I never see it the way that you're explaining it. I don't ever see this as like, oh, I spent time with my wife sitting down and having a conversation. And again, that just goes back to my perception of what this is. I'm not saying that I'm not doing this for me at all, but maybe more so I'm doing it for whoever's listening. And so it's hard for me to like get rid of the cameras and the lights and say, I just sat down and had a great conversation with my wife that was completely unscripted. And most of this actually is, but what is your advice for that? What would you tell someone
getting out of
who
your
also
head?
feels the same way? No, who's just like, I can't not see this as a performance in a way. Like, how can I make this for me specifically?
Do the thing and never show anybody.
Right, but then we'd have to take this show off the internet.
Or like, let's make some vlogs and we'll never post them.
To build the muscle.
Yeah, like you write and you don't give it to anybody to consume.
Sure.
So if you're feeling like I'm not being authentic in the documentation of whatever it might be, you could try a different medium and just see if you like it better or it comes more naturally or it feels more authentic. And B, like do it for nobody else but yourself in theory and also in practice. Like show no one. Part of what has me itching with this idea of an analog year is we got to kick off New Year's Day with our friend B. Smith, who volunteers at a local radio station. And every single month he hosts a radio hour. But on New Year's Day, he hosted a multi-hour set and did it all analog. So he invited a bunch of friends, including us, to bring vinyls and CDs and come into the studio and he would play it on the radio. So Elliot brought a Hotline TNT record. What was it called?
Cartwheel.
We made a puzzle, a Sesame Street puzzle. And it was just so fun.
It was tight. It was a really good time.
To be like in the room for live radio when all of the songs were coming from the friends in the room.
Just spinning records. And there are a couple CDs, like a Radiohead CD.
Like
Forgot who else.
85 or 90% vinyl.
Yeah.
For a couple
hours.
of CDs. And it just has me thinking about ways that we might be turning our attention toward the analog or allowing the pendulum to start moving back in that direction. So for you, Elliot, what does analog look like in 2026? Or what does the ethos of an analog year look like?
Maybe that's what that space is for. I mean, it after all, it is sitting right next to all of the records. The records are sitting right next to the space, rather. You can barely see it in this shot of Sam, but once the tree is gone, like we said at the beginning, nothing will be there. And I have a bunch of records and don't have a record player, which is kind of embarrassing. But I feel like that's my one way, if I can't see a show, my one way of like supporting a band and having something physical is to either buy a CD, which I have less of now. I think I have more CDs, but I'm not collecting them as much as I was. Or to buy a record. So maybe getting a record player and actually spinning records. There was an article that I was reading on this website called chorus.fm about our relationship with music and how we maybe enjoy it less or listen to it more passively because there's so many options versus putting on a record and sort of being forced to listen to it all the way through, or putting in a CD, popping in a CD and having to listen to it all the way through in the car. And I did that with the Hyundai Tiburon. I did that up until I didn't have Bluetooth. It just had
A CD player.
a CD player. And I did that
Wow.
up until literally 2018.
Nine?
No, we
Oh,
got
yeah,
married.
2018.
And I would have maybe at the very most 7 or 8 CDs in the car. And I just listened to those, very often. And so I feel like I was able to enjoy the music that I listened to back then a little bit more now, whereas my brain feels very scattered now. Like if you notice me in the car, we're sort of listening to like anything and everything, and sometimes not finishing a song because I know that there's so many others I could be listening to at that time, And in the same way with writing, this year I resolved to write more in just this little pocket journal, because right now I have a document that is 1,565 pages long that goes back to like 2020.
That's bonkers.
And obviously, like you were saying earlier, I can write so much faster in this. And then I also get caught up because I'm like, okay, well, there's this place to write. There's this other application called Milanote that I write in, and there's also this journal. And so my brain is like trying to figure out where I should write this specific thing, which is kind of silly and overwhelming. And then maybe the thought goes away or the feeling goes away and there's nothing to write. So anyway, to answer your question, making a resolve to write in this more, which would force me to slow down.
Yeah.
Force my brain to slow down. Listening to records, hopefully getting a record player would be
Yeah.
fun. And shooting more film. I didn't really shoot much film last year. I thought that I would, and then it was October and we were in Florida. And the first time I went to Florida, I brought my film camera in April. And then we went and I was like, oh, maybe I'll want to take some more videos, so I'll just take my Sony. And while I don't regret it, I do regret it at the same time. I actually do regret it. I wish I would have brought film. I don't have any film to show from that trip, or even our last trip to Albuquerque. And so I need to do that more. And I think that I will. And maybe you will too with this new camera. Hopefully it works.
Yeah, I hope it does
We need
work.
to load this black and white real quick. And you should just take it with you to
No,
PowerPoint.
it doesn't have a battery.
It doesn't have a battery. Dang it. We're going to go to Batteries Plus.
Yeah,
We
we
didn't
could
have
go
time.
tomorrow.
Shit.
Yeah, I think that I do think that it will work. I just have a feeling that it's gonna work.
Yeah. And what about you? Obviously, we got a journal together.
Yeah,
We're gonna
so
start-
very early in our relationship, Elliot and I had a journal that we wrote by hand back and forth to each other. I'd like to revive that. So we did buy a journal. I don't myself journal. I'm never going to go back and read it. I never have. All of the times that I have journaled, I don't want to. So journaling is not my thing. I have this film camera now, so maybe I'll take some film photos.
Yeah.
I would love to get a shitty pocket cam to just like take photos of the whimsical things that I do. I don't need to take 10 photos of one experience. I could take like a photo or 2 photos.
Sure.
That's also part of the reason why I want like something else, because your phone can take so many photos. My iCloud is already full. Like there's, 50,000 photos on my phone or something insane. How many photos are on your phone?
I don't know, like 35K, something crazy.
Okay, so I don't have 50,000. If you have 35, I probably have like 10. But still, that's an insane amount.
Yeah.
And I want to vlog more. Like short vlogs. They don't even have to be as long as podcast episodes. I'm thinking 10, 15 minutes. Just super fun, low key. Like I'm really enjoying all of the audio and video stuff that I've gotten into in the last couple of years. And I just want to do more of that.
Yeah. Rock on.
Rock on. Plus, if we build the muscle, I can do some of that stuff without you, right? Like I'm going to go on a girls trip this year with my friend to Costa Rica. I could vlog that. That could be so fun.
You definitely should vlog that.
Right? Wouldn't
Selfishly, I'm like, I'll be upset if you don't, because then I won't get to live vicariously through you. I'll have no idea what you've done.
I mean, there's
Because you'll
also...
probably post on Instagram, but you won't post that much.
I don't really post like terribly often. And there's also this thing, right, where you like do something or you haven't seen someone in a while and they say, what have you been up to? Or how was your trip? Or what, whatever the thing was. It would be so fun to just say, oh my gosh, I made this video of my trip. Like it's 10 minutes long. It's not a huge commitment. Like check it out.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's so fun.
Yeah. You mean like check it out. I feel like that's a great opportunity to bring someone over.
Yeah, have a little
like,
watch party.
Yeah, yeah,
That's adorable. I would also like to have more themed parties in 2026. Anytime we throw a party, I'm at least at minimum going to have a themed birthday party again.
That's a ways away.
Yeah, but like costume party. Like last year we went to a murder mystery party.
That
Like
was fun.
the idea of setting up the walls and the container for a thing that we're probably already going to do, like the likelihood that we're going to have some kind of birthday party for you and for me are pretty high. Could we just take it a step further with a little bit more intention in the structure of what it looks like?
Sure. Yeah, I agree.
So deeper, not necessarily more.
Trying to get some brownie points on live television here.
Are you about to tell me how much you love me?
I was getting real American, reflecting on my year, trying to think about what is my greatest accomplishment that I can brag about. Like
Ever?
if someone told me now, like what is your greatest accomplishment of 2025?
Okay.
It's like what could it be? And I was like, oh, I wrote, perhaps one of my greatest accomplishments was staying married. I mean,
That's not exactly what I thought you were going to say.
what did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say, like, my greatest accomplishment is having this, like, amazing, cool, awesome life, which is similar, but not exactly.
Sorry, it's not what you wanted.
That's okay.
It's a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
Marriage is hard.
We celebrated 7 years married in 2025. That's a big deal.
Yeah, I was trying to think very individualistically and selfishly. Like, what about like me, like my greatest accomplishment? Because like that's about us, you know. But it is also me independently, and I feel like we've come a long way.
Yeah, 7 years strong, baby.
Yeah.
On to year 8.
On to year 8, and we're in year 8.
We're
This is
in year 8. Yeah, year 8 has started.
Yeah. So if you're like me and you love to sulk and
Ruminate.
pity yourself at the end of the year or in the middle of the year or in the middle of your day every single day. Just kidding. I don't think I sulk that much, but I think I always think that I could be doing more. If for any other reason, that is why you should write and journal and take photos and get Google Calendar
Yeah.
so that you can look back and realize that your life is pretty good. And that's a surefire way to do it. So if I had to rely on my brain would say 2025, not so good. Looking back, all the shit that I wrote, very sick year.
All the stuff
Very
that
fortunate.
we did. Yeah, absolutely.
So
Happy New Year, you guys.
Happy New Year. We'll see you next time.
Bye.